Welcome to the Barbados Today Morning News Update for Tuesday, October the 17th. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. In our top story at this hour, the Democratic Labour Party is all but certain to retain 4 seats in the next general elections. But St. Michael South, represented by Prime Minister Frederick Stewart, is not among them, according to pollster and political scientist Peter Wickham. Wickham's prediction is consistent with the findings of the recently concluded series of Pulse of the People random surveys in all 30 constituencies conducted by Barbados Today in the lead-up to the election due by the middle of next year. In keeping with the survey findings, Wickham argued that Stewart should not be ruled out because, as Prime Minister, his seat ought to be safe. However, he is under serious pressure by newcomer Kirk Humphrey of the opposition Barbados Labour Party, who is in with a chance to steal the constituency from the DLP leader. Now, meanwhile, Wickham endorsed the Pulse of the People finding that St. Michael North West, represented by Minister of Finance Chris Sinclair, St. Philip North, held by Minister of Transport and Works Michael Lashley, St. Philip West, where the incumbent is Minister of Agriculture, Food, Fisheries and Water Resources Dr. David Eswick, and St. John, represented by Mara Thompson, were safe DLP seats, saying they acted as firewalls for the incumbent.
Those to me are the 4 or 5 seats. The Prime Minister's seat should be a safe seat, but that one is under some serious pressure. And your interviews, with that are consistent with what I've been hearing and feeling on the ground, scientifically. That if I take, and this is the way that I always do it, if I take the national swing, and I impose the national swing on various constituencies, that's the formula that you're coming up with, that you're having a few DLP safe seats. But the whole central corridor, St. Michael, Christchurch, St. George and whatnot, is vulnerable to the Barbados Labour Party, largely because of the economic conditions nationally and the way that people are voting. And then if you look at the way the seats are stacked, you have a range of seats that are within a 10% swing. Once you get a 10% swing nationally, it's gonna cause some problems.
Now, 2 years after the decomposed body of Marcel Smith of Farm Road, St. Philip, was found in a ravine at Halton Plantation in the same parish, her family is today expressing fears that there may never be justice for their loved one. The decomposed body of 75-year-old sister-in-law of Sir Frederick Smith, who has since died, was discovered in late October 2015 after she had been missing for 12 days. Cherise Omar Ince, a 38-year-old carpenter of Nursery No. 2, 4 Roads, St. Philip, is currently on remand at HMP Dodds for the murder, which she is alleged to have committed while on bail in connection with a previous murder charge. Speaking on behalf of the Smith family, Marcel's son, Roger Smith, told Barbados Today they were concerned that a number of people connected to the case had died while Ince continues to be held on remand. Roger named their father, Ori Smith, then Assistant Commissioner of Police with responsibility for crime, Livingston Eversley, Director of Public Prosecutions, Charles Leacock, and Ince's son, Jaquan Turney, as those who have passed away since his mother's killing. However, Acting Director of Public Prosecutions, Anthony Blackman, assured the Smiths that provisions had been made in the Evidence Act to deal with such situations. In other news now, the region's leading lending institution is bracing for a major legal battle over the sacking of one of its senior officers. Former Director of Information Technology and Solutions at the Barbados headquartered Caribbean Development Bank, Mark Tate, is suing the bank, claiming he was unfairly dismissed on June the 30th this year. Little is known of the circumstances surrounding Tate's departure from the wealthy St. Michael-based financial institution, which was established in 1969 to help promote economic growth in its borrowing member countries. However, it was evident from the claims filed by Attorney-at-Law Hal Gollop QC that Tate's position was made redundant, much to the IT specialist's displeasure. In the matter, which came before Madam Justice Sonia Richards yesterday, Tate is challenging his termination on the grounds that the bank does not satisfy a claim of redundancy.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, touching one community at a time.
Time now for regional news. Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness will apologize to the people of West Kingston by next month for the actions of the state in the May 2010 police military operation when security forces went on a sweeping search for the notorious community don Christopher Dudus-Coe. Minister of Justice Dalroy Chuck says the people would also receive compensation soon after the apology is made.
Minister will make his apology. I will make my presentation in response to those recommendations, and so will the Minister of National Security. And the compensation hopefully will be paid out soon after, so that this unfortunate matter can be put behind us.
And on the international scene, at least 32 people have died in Portugal and at least 5 in Spain's Galicia region in a series of wildfires. Thousands of firefighters are battling the blazes which started over the weekend in northeastern Portugal and areas of Spain due to hot and dry conditions.
Around 500 blazes were reported in the country's central and northern regions where a state of emergency has been declared. Soaring temperatures of up to 36 degrees Celsius have been recorded, extraordinary for mid-October. More than 100 fires were still burning late on Sunday night, with more than 5,000 firefighters battling the flames. Wildfires are also ravaging northwest Spain, where at least 3 people have been reported killed and 2 more are missing. After a weekend in which more than 100 fires started in the region of Galicia, the city of Vigo has been described as being under siege from the flames.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.